So let's see this in action. If we look at the casino's Missouri properties, they have two properties in Missouri, and luckily they both have the same pretty much business economics, right? They are there's two properties. One is in Missouri, Caruthersville. Hopefully, I pronounced it correctly. Another one is in Cape Girardeau. The unique business economics of these two cities is that the casinos are the only game in town, and the local population is around 75 to 100,000 within a 30-minute driving radius. So a 30-minute driving radius in the States is nothing. It's extremely low commute for Americans. And the next closest casino to either of them is over an hour and a half drive. Right. So if you think about it, like the Greater Vancouver example, I said, my local casino is 10 minutes away, but another city is 30 minutes away. This one's even more extreme. The next closest competitor is an hour and a half away. So how likely am I to go to another casino for, let's say, slightly better service or slightly better odds? Unlikely, right? Because it's an hour and a half. You might go to that one because you're on a road trip, right? And you just happen to pass by, or you just really want some different experiences. But for sure, 90% of the time, you're probably going to your local casino, right? And then, maybe 5% or less of the time, you might happen to go to their casino that's really far away just for the experience. That can happen. But for the most part, the casino that's in your local market is going to benefit from a customer base that has no choice but to choose them. Usually, when a casino has superior business economics, by being the only game in town or having very little competition, or where the next closest casino is very far away, typically they have above average profitability. So if we look at the Missouri properties, they are quite profitable. And if you look at the EBITDA margins relative to other properties, they are definitely above average. They're in the high 30s, mid 40s, and sometimes even high 40s. So that is evidence of superior business economics. To recap, what do we want to see in a casino? We want as high as possible average bet size. We want customers to stay as long as possible, to bet as much as possible, and that way they would increase their total betting volume. And then next, we want as little competition as possible. Okay, we want to be the only game in town, or we want to have, let's say, the population is 1 million, right? And then there are 5 casinos, right? So the average population per casino is 200K, right? So we want as much of a population per casino, right? And then that can be blurred by a little bit by tourism, right? So let's say then we will look at, how many people are arriving into the city? How many visitors does the city get? So we would include the local population plus its tourism to see how many customers it gets throughout that year, and then divide that by the number of casinos. So yeah, we don't want too many casinos in the market. We want less, right? And we want to be the only game in town, and we don't want the next casino that's out of town to be easily accessible. And we also want the population to grow in the local economy, and we want the average annual income to increase. So we want the local economy to be thriving, pretty much, right? It's because if the local economy has tailwinds and is thriving, typically cities that do well will attract people to immigrate there, right? And which further increases the population, and creation of more jobs, or even higher paying jobs. So that's what we want to see.